All right, everyone. Welcome to a Scrimcast here. We got last minute Tima on our Legion side. They're actually going to be playing with a couple of ringers today. Uh, Whoop from Team Hex and Ramity stepping in as a ringer here. They're going to be playing against Pim on the Hellborn side. This is game number 1. And we got the bands already taken care of. We got Vindicator and Oogie going to be banned out by the Legion side. Some different bans. Have not seen a Vindicator ban in quite some time. The Oogie, he doesn't really get blind banned, but he does get banned very often in the second stage of bans. So we're going to see an Oogie ban here. The Moira and the Magmas, however, a bit more traditional style of bans. Some very pesky heroes to deal with. So they will be removed here by our Hellborn side. We're going to have the first pick of Master of Arms coming out. Response pick of a Luna. And then we have a Puppet Master to start things off. So already a bit of a different style here from our two sides. A little bit more standard from the Hellborn side as we see the Luna first pick. Luna very popular right now. Great support option. Great laner. Lots of early game damage. I believe it was yesterday we even saw Mex on the Aluna. He started off with an 8-0 streak. So Aluna, very, very popular. We're going to see a Puppet Master here, though. And that does lead me to believe that we will see something like a Master of Arms support here. I would be a little surprised to see both the Master and the Puppet Master. So Master of Arms and Puppet Master, that's a lot of Masters. I would be surprised to see them both played as core heroes, but I'm expecting the support Master of Arms here with the Puppet Master core. The Chipper comes out on the second pick here for Hellborn. So already some pretty strong long-range supports with lots of early game damage coming out from our Hellborn side. Looking like a big ego crew draft to start things off. And there's the Pharaoh. A Time to Die signature hero, to say the least. We could see a mid Pharaoh or an offlane Pharaoh this game. Not too sure yet where we will see the Pharaoh go, but he will be played as a core most likely. So they have an initiator picked up to help out the Puppet Master here. One more pick for Team Pim before we go into the second stage of bans. We'll see what they do decide to go with. They will need to pick up some type of core hero now as they have the two supports already shown. And, well, I eat my words. They pick up a Glacius. So we will be seeing either a core Chipper or a core Aluna. You cannot run 3 supports. That would be a little bit too much. Heck, maybe we'll see a core Glacius. Who the hell knows? Who the heck knows what we're going to see here from Pim? I think the most obvious choice here would be a core Chipper, but a core Luna is not out of the question. Both of these heroes very capable of playing the mid lane to a decent degree. Normally we have Zero play middle if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know if he plays a whole lot of Chipper, but I feel like a Luna would be a hero he would play. Let's check his public game, see if he plays any of that stuff. A lot of adrenaline and stuff like that. Okay. Not gonna get any help there. We'll let it unfold. We'll see what happens. So far we have the Gladiator, Bombardier, Calamity, and now a Tempest going to be banned out. The Tempest one is a little bit interesting to me. I don't know if our Legion side here runs any junglers, but they're gonna follow it up. Legion will ban out Draconis, so a second jungler gets banned. It's not too often that we see actually jungler bans, and when we do, it's typically the Ophelia bans, sometimes the Draconis bans, and then anything else is usually like player specific jungler bans. We don't really see a whole lot of jungler bans right now in the current meta. Not a lot of teams are valuing junglers, so it is worth pointing out here that we do see a Tempest and a Draconis ban. We will have the last ban be Monarch, so they don't want to see the Monarch with the Puppet Master. Um, I suppose there's some merit to the Monarch ban. We'll see if they want to take any kind of hard stunning hero or something that would really get countered by a Monarch. But we're going to see the Prisoner come out here on the fourth pick from the Legion side. And, ooh, okay, that one's interesting. But I want to talk about the Prisoner a little bit. So there's not a whole lot of escape heroes in the Hellborn side right now. And normally when we see a prisoner, it's where the shackled is very good at stopping a hero from using his mobility skills, sorry. Something like a Magnus, something like a Midas, something that's just naturally hard to lock down. And the shackled, a very good tool at dealing with those kinds of heroes. But at the same time, these heroes are not that good at escaping a prisoner if he can land the hook. So the hook will do lots of damage and they could easily get bursted down with a prison break, for example. So prisoner, a pretty interesting pick here. I'm gonna be excited to see how it ends up working out. We're gonna see a shell shock pick come out on the fourth pick. So I'm already excited to see some snail. We'll see some Roland perhaps. Maybe we'll see some kind of aggressive duel or tri-lane makeup. Not too sure how they're going to run the snail. They might run snail on zero in the mid lane as well, which we've seen in the past. And then we have a final pick, Ophelia, here for the Legion side. So they are actually going to run a jungler. And this is the jungler that you usually want to ban if you want to ban out junglers. So I'm a bit surprised that we saw a Tempest and a Draconis ban, but they don't ban out the Ophelia. So we're going to see some kind of 2-1-1 lane setup with a jungler on the side of Legion. And then we're going to have a final pick, Solomon, coming out from Hellborn. So they're going to go with a Solomon hard carry, and then he's going to have the ability to transmute, or, well, wish for wealth, as it's called, to eat the Ophelia creeps at any point in time. We'll see if he decides to go for something really greedy like an Alchemist Bones, to also have a second way of dealing with those minions. But I would not be surprised to see something like a Mock of Brilliance here on the Solomon as one of his core items to snowball him into the mid game. So Solomon, pretty greedy pickup here, but they do have the jungler, so it will be pretty hard for them to shut down the Solomon early on. So we are having a Master of Arms on the position 5 here, played by Ramity with that Orb of Zamos, so he will be the main support. We have Ophelia, it's the jungler. Prisoner going to be in the mid lane, Pharaoh in the off lane, and Puppet Master in the short lane. Now for the side of Hellborn, we have Solomon and Aluna dual lane going up against that Pharaoh. We have Shellshock in the mid lane against the Prisoner. And then we have Chipper and Glacius, an aggressive dual lane that I have not seen before. We have seen something like the Glacius and the Snail, but we have not seen Glacius and Chipper. Pretty interesting combination there. They're going to be going up against the Puppet Master, the Master of Arms, with that Ophelia in the jungle, going to be posing a threat constantly. So that's how the lanes are going to shape up. I say that, but we actually have Master of Arms in the mid lane here, so they're going to keep Puppet Master 1v2, perhaps going to be forced to do some kind of rotation with Master, and just leave this Prisoner to 1v1 against the Shellshock, because Puppet Master 1v2, not the best carry going 1 versus 2, as he's very vulnerable to deaths. So who's farming down here? We actually have Glacius farming. That is even more unusual than I was expecting. Um, I do think the farm would be better on the chipper. But with that being said, I mean, Glacius with farm is pretty scary. He can get something like a Staff of the Master, a Portal Key, a Shrunken Head. He becomes very threatening with his Glacial Downpour. But there is stuff to deal with that, like the Wrath of the Pharaoh, the Prisoner Hook, everything being physical here that can cancel. There's Skeleton King, Grips from Ophelia. So there are ways to deal with a Glacius with farm this game to stop his Glacial Downpour, so we'll keep an eye on that. But no kills just yet, so I haven't missed a Bloodlust. Kudos to me. But I'm actually not sure where we're going to see the Bloodlust. I feel like it could be the Puppet Master 1v2, it could be the Snail, but he is a bit tankier. They will need some time before they can kill Snail. And then this is another thing about Shell Shock. When he's 1v2, he can just stand very far back, level up the Fireflies, and just get some creep kills from far away. Then he will need to ferry himself some kind of sustained mana, and he will get himself a mana pot there, which makes a whole lot of sense. How is Ophelia doing? She is level 3 here, 2 minutes in. She's got the Vagabond leader. She's going to work on some camps. She does have a stacked hard camp there. No stacks on the other camps, but we'll see how quickly he can get his level 5. Hopefully around the 4 minute mark or so he can get the level 5, get the 2 creeps, and start making some rotations happen. But for now, the Puppet Master, he's not having a good time. He's 106 gold per minute, so hopefully with the Prisoner here they can make some space for him. He's going to do a roll here on the Shell Shock on the Master of Arms. I don't think they have enough damage here to bring him down, so Shell Shock will be just fine. And this kind of poses the question to me, is this going to be worth giving the good start to Prisoner while at the same time having a slow start on the Puppet Master? We'll see if they can make this work or not, but Solomon, you know, if he's off to a fantastic start, which he is, sitting on 400 gold per minute already, he's got 19 last hits, which is pretty solid. He is going to snowball pretty quickly if they don't keep him in check. So that is going to be very troublesome for our Legion side if they don't address the Solomon at a timely manner. So still no Bloodlust kill, but here comes the hook onto Shell Shock to follow up that stun from Master. Here comes the roll from Snail. He will stun them both, which is a nice stun coming out from Shell Shock. They're not going to have the damage again to bring him down, so Shell Shock just a little bit too slippery with that rolling thunder. Comes a jump from Solomon. Put some pressure onto Pharaoh, but really not too much kill potential with the Solomon against the Pharaoh. Puppet Master, he could be in some trouble here. The rocket is going to be missed. Then hit that one, but he will try to health potion up. Master of Arms now deciding he might rotate into the bot lane. We have level 5 on Ophelia, so this is the timing where they could look to start helping out the Puppet Master, who he's only a level 2. He's really not having the best time. So, safe to say, Pharaoh, Prisoner, and Ophelia are going to have to make their presence felt. We're going to see a Puppet Choke come out onto the Chipper, and this could be the Bloodlust kills. Ophelia's coming in from the background, the Vagabond Q spell. I forget the name of that thing, but it does a lot of damage. It's like 165 damage or something or other. It's a really strong neutral creep early on, so he gets the kill with that Vagabond leader. Bloodlust goes in favor of our Legion side at the almost 5 minute mark. A much slower Bloodlust than we're actually used to seeing. So how's the JPM chart looking? It's mostly Solomon. That's kind of what happens in Solomon kind of games, but we'll kind of try to keep an eye on everybody else. The Ophelia and the Prisoner are doing very well, and then on the side of Hellborn, it's Glacius doing the next best at 325 gold per minute. So how's he doing on the last hits? He's got 30 last hits on the Glacius. That's impressive. 31 and 18. The Razor PK, he's got the Steam Boots now on the Glacius, and that's really, really nice. He's almost tied with the Prisoner Speaking of prisoner, they're going for a kill here on the snail. Do they have anything available? Auto attacks. Is it going to be enough power supply just to be on the safe side there from 0 on the snail? He will survive yet again. This is like the 3rd or 4th time he has survived. So he's pretty much just playing, get the XP, try to get some last hits. He's got 14, which honestly isn't that bad. Compare him to the Pharaoh, who's also going 2 versus 1. Pharaoh sitting on 15 and 1. Puppet Master going to eat a glacial, or what's it called? Ice imprisonment. The rocket's not going to be followed up in time to deal enough damage. Decides not to channel the glacial downpour. Ophelia is here now with the Skeleton King. He's going to throw out the stomp with the Catman. Are they going to be able to chase this Puppet Master tanking a creep wave? Here comes the glacial downpour in the trees, and there's a lot of damage coming out as Chipper lands some rockets, and Puppet Master will go down. They're now turning it onto Ophelia. Here comes the Ice Imprisonment, and they're going to make it a double kill, as Luna even made her way down here with a haste rune, but she was not needed. So the damage from Glacius and Chipper showing there. And they will net themselves 2 kills. Oh, Puppet Master, he continues to struggle. He's only on 125 gold per minute, only sitting on 8 last hits. So the Glacius is now 380 gold per minute. Mid lane, let's see. Well, we have Ophelia, almost level 7. She's gonna soon get the 3rd creep. And we have level 6 on the Pharaoh. He's level 7 now, actually, so he's Wrath of the Pharaoh ready to go. So if he looks to make any rotations happen. Gonna be interested to see what Glacius decides to buy here with his farm. If he's gonna go for the early Staff of the Master, if he's gonna go for something like a portal key, or even a tablet against Pharaoh would be quite reasonable. Looks like Shell Shock will port back into the mid lane. Pharaoh, is he gonna get spotted out here? There is the Ward of Sight placed on the lane. Luna will spot him out there. But yeah, it's a pretty low action game so far. But I'm expecting it to kind of pick up now with Ophelia hitting the level 7 mark. Veiled Rod here on the Master of Arms. It's going to be broken immediately by the Chipper and the Glacius. And it's going to be a little unfortunate. We'll see. He's got a double damage rune picked up here. See if they can make any kills happen. I believe Glacius sees that happening. Solomon, he's sitting on 3,000 gold, so it looks like he's going straight into the Mock of Brilliance. He's going to pick up that Sword of the High at around the 9-minute mark. Actually, probably even sooner, the way Solomon accumulates gold. It'll be a under 9-minute Sword of the High and probably a 10.5 or 11-minute Mock at this rate. Puppet Show is not going to hold him in place. Here comes the grip from the Skeleton King. Will the Minotaur get in range with the Stomp? And they will take out Chipper pretty easily. They're trying to go for more. Here come the strings from Puppet Master. Glacial Downpour, though, being channeled onto Master of Arms and Ophelia. Here comes the Ophelia's touch, but Ophelia is going to go down as Solomon ports in. Glacius now getting walled up by Pharaoh, and here comes Snail with the roll. Puppet Master will go down. It is a fight in favor of the Legion side, it looks like. Well, actually, Solomon, he's going to go down. He doesn't even purchase his Sword of the High just yet. Pharaoh, he's manning up. He's got the Master's Call on him, and they are going to take down the Shell Shock as prisoners here. But, oh, he just barely misses the hook onto Chipper. And, boy, that was a chaotic fight. We had, I believe, all 5 players from Hellborn die as Chipper died initially. So it does end up being a genocide in favor of Legion. And they lost Puppet Master and Ophelia. So I believe only 5 for 2. A pretty strong fight there as they take a 6-4 hero kill lead. And the gold lead actually is still in favor of Hellborn, and that's mostly due to the Solomon sitting at 500 gold per minute. But he's getting very close to his Mock now. So he will park himself in the jungle and try to farm up that Mock recipe. Looks like he's going to be going back to the top lane before he does finish it off. Puppet Master now is in the mid lane, and Prisoner has swapped to the bottom. Ophelia, she's trying to get her creeps back up. She's going to take over most likely both the Vagabond and the Skeleton King here. She has the mana ring or a ring of sorcery. And then we'll see if she looks to set up any tower pushes coming up. Here comes a Wrath of the Pharaoh in the mid lane onto Shell Shock. Is he going to roll onto the creeps out of the wall? No, he's going to roll onto the Puppet Master. And will he be able to survive this? Here comes the Voodoo Puppet, and that's 2 ultimates used. Too much damage for him to handle. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we have a hook into a Prison Break coming out. Chipper will go down. The Ice Imprisonment going to keep Prisoner in place. But here comes Ophelia now with the Skeleton King and the minions, the Vagabond and the Vulture Lord. Double tap is going to come out from Master of Arms as he gets credit for both those kills. And this was a pretty nice timing for them to set up some kills around the map, as they will now turn it into a tier 1 tower push in the bottom lane. So they're going to take a small gold lead as well as an experience lead with the jungler. 2,280 experience lead. And Solomon, he now has the mock completed. We'll see what he decides to build into as his next item. They're going to keep going though on the tier 2 tower. Chainsaws are put down from Chipper. But not going to be able to stop them, I'm afraid, as this tower will fall in favor of the Legion side. So just like that, 2 towers get pushed. And they now have a 2,000 gold lead early on, but still, Solomon sitting on 600 gold per minute. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with if he is able to get to his next 1 or 2 items in a timely manner. We'll see what Legion decides to do. They got Ophelia heading toward the mid lane now. She picks up the Plated Greaves. They'll have some more armor. Prisoner picks up an Abyssal Skull, so this signals to me that they really want to force these fights, picking up the Abyssal Skull early on. Looks like he's going to send home the Prisoner. He'll get some regen at the base and then port himself back perhaps. Oh, he has port on cooldown actually. They're going to take out that mid tier 1 tower, and they will now all rotate up to the top lane. So Solomon, 2,000 gold saved up, hasn't bought anything just yet. We do have a Tablet of Command picked up on the Glacius. Safe to say that will help them quite well with dealing with the Pharaoh walls. But we have everyone over 250 gold per minute here. We got 260 on the support, 300 all the way across the board, and then 440 on the Prisoner. So Puppet Master, he's not interested in going for anything like a Shroud just yet. Looks like he's going to go into a Whispering Helm. I'm not too sure if that's the right call or not, but he is grouping up with his team, so I don't know. We're going to see if Puppet Master is going to be able to translate this into being able to deal with a farmed Solomon, because at this rate, the Solomon picks up 2 more items, and I just feel like he's going to become this big death ball, where although the Legion side is tanky with their team items, I don't know if they're going to be able to deal with him. But it is going to take another item or 2, so they are going to have to try to hold off the base push here. The Ophelia's Touch gets forced out. Ice Imprisonment on the Minotaur. Hopefully they can kill that. Okay, they can. Ophelia will just take over in new creep. And they actually force all 5 back. Looks like he goes for a Barrier Idol. To be honest, I don't know if that's actually the right pickup for this game. There is a lot of physical damage coming out from the Prisoner and the Master. The real magic damage is only from Pharaoh this game. And I feel like he's either going to get locked down by Puppet and killed in that window, or he's going to just get right-clicked down. So I do feel like armor would be a better choice here. Not too sure if the Barrier Idol will be all that good. We're going to see a Kongor attempt here from the Legion side. And with the Abyssal Skull, this is going to be quite an easy Kongor. They also have the Soul's Bulwark picked up here on the Prisoner. So they have 2 team items as well as the Astrolabe. Oh, excuse me, they don't have an Astrolabe yet on Ophelia. So they're actually skipping the Astrolabe. They're going for, it looks like a Barrier Idol on Ophelia, which it makes a lot of sense on the Legion side, so they can go high ground, can deal with a lot of the defensive creep clearing abilities from our Hellborn side, the power throw, the rockets, the fireflies, all that stuff. Solomon being mostly magical damage with the Mach and the Wish for Power AoE. We're going to see another tier 1 tower. This is actually the last tier 1 tower. So the 16-minute mark, we're going to have all the outer towers taken. And that is very nice to see by the Ophelia lineup taking good command of the map control with that hero. But 730 GPM now on the Solomon. And he's getting really high up there. See if they decide to defend this second Convoy though, because this will drop a token of life. Safe to say Puppet Master or even the Prisoner would really like to have a token. We have Veiled Rot on the Glacius here. Solomon, he's going to get hooked in. Is he going to be okay is the question. In the background here, Glacius getting locked down by the Puppet and the Ophelia. Too much lockdown. And Prisoner, he's going to go down to Snail and Solomon. Too much damage. Luna's going to get locked down by the Wall of Mummies here by Pharaoh. But Solomon, he's jumping in on the Ophelia. And he is going to do so much damage here. Ophelia is going to end up falling as Snail snipes him out with the fireflies. Puppet Master, no kind of defensive item picked up. He will just get melted, and it's a double tap for Snail. So all the supporting cast dies behind the Snail and the Solomon, but they get 4 kills. The big one being the Ophelia and the Puppet Master. Ophelia will now have to build herself a new army. And Puppet continues to be slowed down. He's only on 347 gold per minute. So Solomon, he picks up the plate mail. Once he gets that Frostfield plate, I dare say, how is the Legion side going to be able to deal with him? He's only sitting on the 10% hero damage right now, but that is going to skyrocket once he picks up the Frostfield plate and participates in another 1 or 2 team fights. But we have Snail on 20% hero damage. He even picks up a Dreamcatcher here, so he's going to be a bit tankier, as well as he's going to be able to put that negative healing debuff on his target of choosing, and the Ophelia will not be able to heal for full value once that gets put on somebody like the Puppet or the Prisoner. However, the Master's Call still very good against that. Mitigates damage. So, what other items are we looking at here? We almost have the Hellflower picked up on Pharaoh. That is a pretty big item that they are waiting for. Just going to do a Mummy Wall and TP out here. What will Prisoner end up going for? Looks like he might have bought something. Maybe not, actually. Ophelia is about... is it 200 gold? He needs 1060. It's about 200 gold away from the idol, which is a pretty big pickup for them. No real items on the support, that's fine. But Prisoner, I'm wondering what he's going to go for. Because he's gone for this very team-heavy route. We have Veiled Rots on several heroes here. They're trying to set up a kill on the Snail. They're going to stack the Puppet Show with the Overcharge shot. Here comes a hook from Prisoner. Beautiful hook on the Chipper. And he will use the Prison Break. They're going to get 2 quick kills. And that could be a Kongor opening or a Rax attempt push. But Solomon is here. He has the Frostfield plate. Will they be able to deal with him? They don't have the Pharaoh here just yet. He will jump in on the Ophelia. Here comes a Voodoo Puppet onto Glacius, and Puppet Master, he is just going to melt the Voodoo Puppet. Not going to be enough, but Pharaoh, he will use his Wrath of the Pharaoh. They will take out Glacius with the Hellfire as well. And Solomon, he's looking to try to take out the Prisoner here, but he's going to be just fine. Pharaoh will take out the Aluna in the background, so Solomon's entire supporting cast end up falling, but he is still a monster to be reckoned with. The Master of Arms will just melt, and Pharaoh's going to be forced to fall back. Look at those right clicks just pounding into Pharaoh. So Solomon now 845 gold per minute. Is he going to be able to solo carry his team here, or is the just overall GPM spread on the Legion side going to prevail? We'll have to see what ends up happening, but One more big item on the Solomon, and I dare say it's gonna get really, really scary. Puppet Master, he's just going for a straight Shrunken Head at this point. It looks like he's skipping the Shroud completely this game. Just gonna go for the man-up fighting route with the Whispering and the Shrunken. Not your typical Puppet Master build, but with the way the game has gone for him, can kind of understand it. We do have the Hellflower finished on the Pharaoh now. He's going to get rolled on here by the Snail. He's going to Wrath of the Pharaoh onto the Creep Wave, and that will actually avoid the stun coming out. Will he be able to make the escape, though, is the question. Power Throw will hit him. Solomon, he is charging in. He's going to try to get the catch onto Prisoner, but he's not going to find it. And he did pop the Wish for Revenge here, so that will be wearing off. Shortly. Picks up an Ice Brand, so I think it's gonna be Dawnbringer. I don't think we'll see a Froststeel Skull and a Froststeel Plate. I do feel like that's overkill to go for 2 slow items. Ward of Sight will be dewarded here from our Hellborn side. And there is a ward protecting their Kongor entrance here. Oh, Solomon, he's going to jump in onto Ophelia. He's going to get Puppet Showed up, attacking the creeps. He's going to join into the ball here. The roll will not connect, but he will get closer to his target, and he's going to charge in. Overcharge shot comes out from Moab. Meanwhile, in the background, Wrath of the Pharaoh connects onto Chipper. Will Chipper end up dying? Yes, he will. Master's Call comes out onto Pharaoh. Here comes the hook onto Aluna, and Aluna will fall. The Prison Break will pull Solomon. They're just trying to kite him as much as possible. Glacial Downboard doing tons of damage. They will get the kill onto Puppet, and Puppet will fall. Prisoner going to be forced to get the teleport, but he will get frozen by the Ice Imprisonment, and he will go down. So it ends up being a 2 for 2, but exchange definitely in favor of our Hellborn side, as both their mid and carry are still alive. So Solomon will turn his attention back to the Kongor, where it is sitting on almost half life. Doesn't have a lot of attack speed, so this is actually going to take quite a bit of time. His damage right now is mostly magical. So they will get the Kongor kill. Looks like, let's see what buffs everyone takes. We have movement speed on Aluna. These guys are really slow to pick up their stats. Chipper picks damage. Movement speed on Snail. Glacius is lagging. Movement speed on Solomon. Come on, man, pick a buff. Glacius picks movement speed. Okay. Bot lane, Puppet Master forced to use a show and run away. Double damage here on the Pharaoh. They're going to attempt the Kongor. Ophelia is here. Oh, while this is going on, we got Tim grouped up as 5 here behind their Solomon. They're going to take out the tier 2 tower. They are going to get the Kongor kill on the Legion side. They got stats. This is actually their second Kongor, by the way. Puppet Master takes stats, toys, stats. Oh, everyone's taking stats this game. Okay, movement speed on Prisoner and movement speed on Master of Arms. He's got the Frostburn picked up. He's almost fully slotted. He needs one more item. Here comes a Wrath of the Pharaoh. Prisoner. Okay, they're actually going to lock him down. Solomon will go down. Snail will also go down. They used the Voodoo Puppet on the Solomon, and that took him down. He couldn't get his Barrier Rattle off or his Frostfield Plate. Glacius is going to get caught out here as well, and he will go down. So this is an excellent hold coming out from last minute Tima as they get 3 kills. They also took out the Snail. after the Solomon went down. They only lost the prisoner in that fight, so pretty nice job from them to hold the base. Now the tower did take a lot of damage, but slowing down Solomon definitely very good news for them. He's now dropped under the 800 GPM mark. And they mostly just have tablets now. 3 tablets on their side, 1 Gnome's Wisdom picked up. But again, they're stacking magic armor. Like they have the Barrier Idol and the Gnomes, but there's really not a whole lot of magic damage on our Legion side. It's really physical damage. Spells and right clicks has the majority of their damage, so I do question it a little bit. Puppet's going to finish his Shrunken here in 10 gold. That will definitely increase his survivability against our Hellborn side. Well, we got Veiled Rots. Is that a full 5-man Veiled Rot? This is going to catch them off guard. Master of Arms is going to run into them here. And he will most likely go down. Dreamcatcher will be put on him. He will fall. Ophelia is going to get gone on here as well. Will he lose his army is the question. He's trying to go for a kill on the Chipper, but it's not going to happen. So they're going to get 2 kills here with the 5-man Veiled Rot. Ports are happening from the Chipper only. So, looks like they're... Ooh, I missed a kill. Pharaoh gets a kill here on the Chipper. Hellflower stopping him from using the tablet. Haste on the Puppet Master. There's a barbed armor on Pharaoh. That's going to really help him against Solomon. Now he can wall him more comfortably. But the supporting cast has respawn now. Ophelia will need to get new minions. She actually picks up an Energizer. Which, not too sure if that's all that great. It's not terrible, but I suppose it is a little late for an Astrolabe. And a lot of the items you would want to build into as an Ophelia are picked up by Prisoner this game. Solomon sitting on 3,200 gold. Looks like he's going to go for a Behemoth Start. Picks up a Axe of the Malphite. Over in 3 minutes for them. Prisoner also picks up his own Shrunken Head, so the Shrunken Heads are going to mitigate lots of damage in the upcoming team fights. As I keep saying it, but it's true, there's just mostly magical damage here. So safe to say they would like Solomon to be more of a right-click presence. Glacius, he's got a Mighty Blade. Actually not sure if that's going to be a Shrunken or a Staff. Kind of would like it to be a Staff though. Failed Rot on the Solomon here. Gonna run into Ophelia. He's gonna jump in. Here comes the Frostbite Blade. Rather, the Pharaoh will miss. Voodoo Puppet is out. Shrunken Head is popped by both Prisoner and Puppet Master. The Glacial Downpour is doing some decent damage off to the side. We do see Pharaoh go down. There goes his domination streak. And Prisoner Shrunken wears off. He will fall as well. And nobody from Pim has fallen yet, but they got 3 kills. They also got the kill onto Ophelia. So that fight caught them way off guard, and they were not able to bring down any players from the Hellborn side. So they now take a 7,000 gold and almost 8,000 experience lead. So tier 2 tower will fall. Solomon once again back above 800 gold per minute. Makes everybody look like an ant below him, but they're honestly not doing that poorly. Well, I suppose Puppet's GPM is a little bit low, but again, that's due to his early game start. So he will put some pressure on the top tower there up at the base, but he will port back to defend with his team. Picks up an Arcana, so he will be going for Hellflower. We have Wrath of the Pharaoh here on the Shell Shock. Hellflower does connect, but he will get tableted. Barbed Armor up on the Pharaoh. Master's Call will be used. They do get the Voodoo Puppet. No, the Voodoo Puppet is on cooldown. Here comes a roll from Snail onto Pharaoh. It stuns up Ophelia as well. Pharaoh will go down. Ophelia possibly getting turned on next. Puppet Master, he's going to get caught. With the Shrunken Head down, he will fall, and it is disastrous for our Legion side as they pick up a double tap on the Solomon. 3 kills. They're looking to make it 4 as Ophelia could get gone on here. Slow comes in from Glacius. Here comes the Ice Imprisonment and the roll from Snail, and they are going to get 4 kills now. And the only one to survive is the Master of Arms, who unfortunately is not going to be able to stop these Raxes from falling. Solomon and Snail will push in the bottom Raxes. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we got the rest of the team putting some pressure on the mid lane, and this is going to easily be 2 Raxes. And this could be the game, honestly. We had the full Behemoth Heart picked up on the Solomon, and I don't know if he bought anything else. He might have finished the Dawnbringer as well. There's going to be a hook attempt here. Prison Break will come out, but the Froststeel Plate will slow him just enough to get him out of the range of the Prison Break, pulling him back. And 2 Raxes will fall. And honestly, I don't know how Legion comes back from this. They're going to need a big pick off, but as long as Hellborn stays pretty much together, don't think that opportunity will present itself. Up match, he's gonna charge in, he's gonna get his Veiled Rod broken. Shrunken Head will be popped. He uses the Voodoo Puppet here. Stormshare comes out onto Solomon. Here comes the Wrath of the Pharaoh landing onto 2. Will he get his Wall of Mummies off? Barbed Armor is going to be put up. Here comes the roll from Snail. Shrunken Head is popped by Prisoner. And here comes a hook back onto 2. Solomon is trying to retreat. Here comes a Glacial Downpour, though, doing so much damage with that Staff of the Master picked up. Prisoner will fall, as well as Pharaoh. The GGs are called, and Ophelia falls, and Seedboat comes out. And Pim will take game number 1 here over last minute Tima with a very impressive GPM performance on the Solomon. I believe he was 800 and almost 850 gold per minute at the very end there. So that will do it for game number 1. We will go on a short break and hopefully get into a game number 2.